Hello, my lovely students. I hope all of you are safe and healthy. I'm back again with a new lesson. So today, and before beginning our lesson, as usual, I'm going to give you the reference because as you remember, no more notes. We have to read through our books. So it's World History, Unit 6, and the chapter is 28. That is a transformation around the globe. And today we will cover inshallah lesson 2, and that is modernization in Japan, and you will find this topic on page 810. Okay, let me move the slide. Okay, so here we go. So in today the topics we are going to cover in this lesson is Treaty of Kanagawa. Okay, I'm going to say it again so that the more I will repeat it, it will be easy for you to memorize. So we will cover Treaty of Kanagawa, Meiji era, and Russo-Japanese War. This one is quite easy. So we will start with the next topic. That is how we, in the last lesson, as you remembered, we read about foreign influences in China. But in this lesson, we will learn about the steps taken by Japan to modernize. First, we will talk about the Treaty of Kanagawa. From the early 16th to the mid 18th, Japan traded with China and the Dutch, and it had diplomatic contact with Korea. That's all. This was all the states Japan was having trade with. But beyond that, beyond these states, Japan was largely isolated. British, French, Russian and American officials tried to convince the Japanese to open up, but the Japanese repeatedly refused. So that situation changed in 1853 when Americans steamship with cannons entered Japanese waters. So now you see how the situation changed. In 1853 the situation was changed. And the next year, when the American steamships and cannons entered the Japanese water, the next year Japan and the United States signed the Treaty of Kanagawa. And in this treaty, it agreed to open a trade with America. So now you understand. Now you got an idea what was the Treaty of Kanagawa. Treaty of Kanagawa, in simple words, you can say Treaty of Kanagawa was a treaty between the United States and Japan, opening trade between the two nations. I hope it's clear now. And soon afterwards, when Japan made this treaty, he made the similar deals with European nations. Okay, now we talk about Meiji era. So what was Meiji era? Meiji era. Many Japanese were actually upset with this treaty. So that time the military dictator was Shogun. So Japanese were upset with Shogun because he had agreed to these treaties. And there was another emperor, and his name was Mutsuhito. Okay, so the Mutsuhito got the support of these Japanese people who were upset with Shogun. He got the support and he managed to overthrow the Shogun. So for the first time in the centuries, the emperor ruled Japan directly for the first time. Mutsuhito, he ruled the Japan directly, and he ruled for almost 45 years, and the dates are from 1867 to 1912, and this period is called the Meiji era, and the name of Meiji means enlightened rule. So what do you understand by the Meiji era? Meiji era, in simple words again, Meiji era was a period of rule by Emperor Mutsuhito from 1867 to 1912. Now we will talk about Russo-Japanese War. Okay, Russo-Japanese War. So what was Russo-Japanese War? And basically it will speak about Imperial Japan, like how did Japan increase its influences in Asia. So by 1890, Japan had the strongest military in Asia. It asked foreigners to give up their special rights in Japan, and the European nation agreed. Japan felt equal to the Western nations. Japan was feeling very high. So Japan became more imperialistic as its power grew. When China broke an agreement not to send armies into Korea, Japan went to war. It drove China out of Korea and gained Taiwan and some other islands as new colonies. And in 1904, Japan and Russia fought over China's territories. And this war is known or was known as Russo-Japanese War. So in simple words, what was the Russo-Japanese War? You can say it was a war between, basically this war was between Russia and Japan, and it was fought in 1904 till 1905. Basically it was fought between Japan and Russia over China's territory. Next we will see. Okay, before we start our activity, let's see what happened. Afterwards, Japan surprised the world by defeating a large power that was supposed to be the strongest. So this is how it ends. And Japan surprised the world by defeating a large power, and that was supposed to be the strongest. And now we will begin the activity of today. Just like always, I will request all of you to must read through your books, take out some time and go through all these topics in detail, because for being a teacher it's not possible to go in detail. I'm just trying to give you the main points, but it's your effort to read everything in detail. And I'm giving you few questions for today. What you are going to do, just read everything in detail and try to answer these questions. And I request you to write down on a notepad or on a copy, and I will check them whenever inshallah we will meet again. So I am giving you an example, like what was American motive in sending the fleet, and how did the United States benefit from the terms of the treaty, and what steps did Emperor Matsuhito take to modernize Japan, what steps did the Meiji take to modernize Japan, because the whole topic was about modernization in Japan. So inshallah when you will read all these topics in detail, you will be able to answer these questions. And I hope you have learned something new today. So take care of yourself. Inshallah we will meet again. Goodbye.